Hello, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv, and you may have noticed on my YouTube channel and on my Bwana.tv website that I now am featuring high definition videos, or HD videos. These videos are encoded at 720p, which is a kind of a high definition resolution, meaning that it's 1280 pixels wide and 720 pixels high, and it's shot in the progressive format. So what the purpose of this video is kind of give you some tips and tricks on how you can possibly create your own high definition videos on YouTube and on other websites as well. Facebook has now announced that they're supporting high definition video, so you can use these tips to post them there, or you can post them on Vimeo, or you can post them on SmugMug. You can post them anywhere you want that supports high definition video. And the tips of this video I'm going to show you are on the Mac, but I'm going to try to give you Windows users some tips and some alternatives in order to best utilize, the tool set you have in front of you, because I don't want you guys going out buying Macs to do this if you can do it with Windows. So the first thing I want to say is that YouTube has a 1 GB limit, and it's something that is kind of it seems like a lot. But once you dive into the high definition realm, it's kind of small, especially if you're a YouTube partner like I am and you want to produce videos that are over 10 minutes in length. You're going to be really kissing that ceiling a lot, so you have to play with settings a lot. Also, you want to consider some of the settings I'm going to show you, so that some of your users who don't have very fast internet connections can still enjoy the high definition video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it over to my desktop, and I'm going to show you some of the tricks that I use and some of the tips that you can use in order to produce high definition video on YouTube or anywhere else.
Hello, this is Bwana, and I'm back on my desktop, and I'm looking at my SDHC card, which has been mounted in my Mac OS X system here, and it's called Kingston because that's the brand. I never bothered to change it. But this is the media that's being used in my Canon Powershot TX1. This is the camera that I use, and this is the part where I want to talk about the source video. The source video is very important when producing high definition video. You can't just record something on your cell phone or with an ordinary digital camera, or even a camcorder, which doesn't support 720p or 1080i or 1080p video resolution. So first thing you need to do when you're considering high definition content on YouTube is to make sure that your camera supports the right source definition or the source content. And I have a Canon Powershot TX1. It's currently going for about I believe about $400 now, and when I bought it, it was about $600. So it's dropped a little bit. You can search for that on Amazon. One of the more popular ones, and it's being really pushed by YouTube, is the Flip Mino HD camera, and it ranges between $200 to $250 depending on where you buy it from. There's also the Kodak Z16 Pocket HD camera for $179. All three of these support high definition resolutions from the source. So that's the very first thing you need to consider, is that the source video be high definition. And in my case, on my card, I have the 3 files that I've recorded today. These are the 3 high definition videos that are going up tonight. And if you look at the file sizes, the first one, you can ignore the thumbnails. The first one is 1.14 gigabytes. The second is 1.08 gigabytes. And the little segment that I recorded before this one was half a gigabyte, 500 megabytes. So these can get rather big. So the 1 gigabyte YouTube limit can go very fast. But I'm going to teach you some techniques on how to compress and encode these to H.264. You need to write that down. H.264. which will compress the file and retain a lot of the quality, and your users won't be able to tell the difference 9 times out of 10. So what I have here is the video. So there's me, and you can see it's a fairly large resolution. It's 1280 by 720. This is a 720p video, and I'm going to play a little bit of it.
Bwana.tv, and you may have noticed on my YouTube channel.
Okay, that's enough of that. But that's just to show you that that is the video that we just recorded. So what I'm going to do in my workflow in order to produce a high definition video to upload to YouTube, and you've probably seen this on my other videos, is that I'm going to use VisualHub. VisualHub is your one-stop shop for video encoding on the Mac, and unfortunately the program has been discontinued by the author, but it's been taken up by the open source community. and I believe it's going under a new name now. It's like Flix something. I don't recall exactly what it is. But this is VisualHub, and I'll show you this right now. But before I do, I'm going to tell you some of the options you may have on Windows, because I know everybody out there is not using a Mac. You can use Virtualdub, which is another one. The one that I personally like is called Super, S-U-P-E-R. That's the name of it. It's called Super, and it will encode to all kinds of formats, including the ones that I'm talking about here. There's also Handbrake. I talked about Handbrake in another video, which will convert your DVDs to video, but they also have updated the version to do file conversions. You don't necessarily need a DVD anymore. So what I'm going to do in VisualHub is that the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my file here, and I'm going to add it to VisualHub. And in Mac, most everything is just drag and drop. Same in Windows, to tell you the truth. And I'm going to pick the tab. There's several tabs up here, and I've done videos on VisualHub. But in the past, I used iTunes, and this is what I used to use from my standard videos. And you know, I had decent quality videos. I would convert these down, and I would optimize these for all devices. For the high definition YouTube, I'm going to choose MP4. MP4, and there's two options here that I'm going to check. RTSP streaming. What that stands for is real-time streaming protocol. RTSP streaming. So it's important that whatever encoding program you use, make sure it supports this option when you encode, because what it gives you the ability to do is give your users with lesser bandwidth the ability to watch that video without having to wait half an hour for the entire thing to download before they can start watching it. It will optimize the video so that you can stream and download at the same time. So in essence, while the video is being watched, you can stream it. You probably noticed this with Flash. Flash does this a lot. You can watch it while it's downloading. A lot of those videos are encoded using some of these options. The next thing is to check H.264. Now this is very important. H.264 is one of the codecs that's probably going to be leading the web for the next 10 to 15 years. I don't know. But everything you're hearing about nowadays in high definition, a lot of encoding, includes H.264. Now, on my videos, I have a quality slider here. Your program may look a little bit different. But for mine, I want the best quality possible. I want to be as close to the source as you can possibly get. So I just say go nuts. That's the setting here in VisualHub. But you can choose standard, high, and like I said, in Super or in Handbrake or in Virtualdub, whatever program you want to use to encode. You can choose whatever quality you want. I'm going to choose go nuts. So I can do in VisualHub, I can batch encode these. I can choose all the videos I've done tonight simply by adding them one by one. That's the thumbnail, I'm sorry. I can add them all and then just click start, and when it's done, it'll give me a nice little ding sound, and I'll have a file to upload to YouTube. Now, the next thing you want to do is after that process is done, you want to ensure that the file size is less than 1024 megabytes or 1 gigabyte. There's a YouTube limit of 1 gigabyte. If you're uploading to other sites like SmugMug or Vimeo, you may have different file size limitations. So the next tip is to pay attention to the file size limitation so that you don't go over. If you don't want to waste time uploading these large files only to find out that they're too big. Upload times can take a while. I'm on a 2 megabit upstream with my connection here, and these files can take easily an hour, you know, to upload each, depending on the size. You know, they can take 30 minutes to an hour. So, and especially the YouTube. YouTube is a little bit slow to upload to. Sites like Blip and even Vimeo, I believe, is a little bit faster, but YouTube can take a little bit of time. I mean, it's a giant site, so it's kind of understandable. So the review. First thing you want to do is to get the proper source. You want to make sure that your camera supports high definition video, which is 720p or higher. These are the terms: 720p, 1080i, 1080p. Those are the three you should be concerned with. And most cameras that I named, the Flip Mino HD, the Kodak Z16 Pocket HD, and a Canon Powershot TX1, which is what I use, all of those support high definition video. And there's a bunch of camcorders as well that supports high definition video. So make sure that source is HD. The next thing you want to do is make sure you have a proper encoding program. Me, I'm using VisualHub, And for Windows, you can use Virtualdub, you can use Super, or you can use Handbrake to encode using RTSP and H.264 options when you encode. Upload to YouTube, and you'll have a beautiful 720p video for the world to see. All right, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv, and this is my walkthrough on how you can get HD on YouTube or any site that supports high definition video. Take care.